Hi and welcome to BIM 360 tutorial. And BIM 360 is actually not a software but rather a cloud hosting service provider. In a sense, you can store and share your information with different groups of people from different entities, different companies. So it's meant for the construction industry to store your drawings, your models, your documents. Everybody will be actually storing those critical informations inside a centralized platform where everybody have access to it. So there's actually a lot of other cloud providers, and that includes Amazon, Facebook, Google. However, BIM 360 is created by Autodesk simply because it allows your BIM model to be wrapped in the sense that you can zoom, rotate, and pan around, inspecting elements inside the cloud. So as long as you have a Revit BIM model inside BIM 360, you can view them on your computer, iPad, without the Revit itself. So the reason why you want a platform to view the model without Revit is because not everybody have access to Revit, and not everybody needs to use Revit, but I'm sure everybody needs to have access to the drawings of the project. And we will start with what you need to do to get to this page that you're looking at right now is to create an account. And in case you already have an account, I suggest you to create an account using another email. So when you do that, they'll give you 30 days of trial. There are many different modules of BIM 360. There's a design module, document module, and some other modules, a field module as well. And in this tutorial, we will only be focusing on the document module. So to arrive here, as I said, go and create a new account, and they will give you 30 days free trial where you can just play around and familiarize yourself with this cloud service here. So once you're done so, then you arrive at this page. You will see My Project and Sample Project, and we'll start off with looking at the top left-hand corner, Account Admin. The Account Admin is responsible for creating projects, adding members into the members directory, adding companies, and also editing the roles. Okay. So currently, when you log in your first time, there are 2 projects. We're going to create a project later, but at this point in time, we are going to add companies. So why is there plural here? Is because, as I said, since it's a cloud platform, you are sharing information with multiple people, and therefore you can actually store the information under this tab. So let's go ahead and click on companies, and you will see here, and that's my company. By default is here, and let's say you have many companies that you usually work with. You can add them into the directory using this add button, and I'm going to add some companies inside here. We're just going to go through this process. I'm going to use Team Build, and I'm just going to Google some companies here. Team Build Singapore Construction Private Limited. And also just make sure to select one of these lists of the trade and company type. As you can see, is compulsory field, and you can put in the address, numbers, and including a picture of the company logo here as well. But the 2 most important are company name and trade or company type. So once you're done, at the bottom right hand corner, click Save. Okay. So you can see here there's BIMLife, and there is general contractor of a Team Build Construction. And the reason why we add companies before members, okay, which I'm going to show you now how to add members. So when you click on this tab members, you can click to the left, the blue button, to add new people into the directory. So this is the first button, add people to the members directory. And I'm going to add my colleague here, okay, and all you need to add, to add people into the directory is just have their email, okay. So that's the email of my colleague, and once you're done with writing email, click on add button. So you can do multiple people at once, just continue typing in this field here and just continue hitting the add button. And you can see once you key in the personnel email, one of the criteria here is to specify the company. So if I'm going to type here BIM, my company is BIMLife, so BIM, and you can see here BIMLife, it is selectable. Okay, they do not care if it's small or large letter. However, if let's say this person is not from BIMLife, but from a company called ABC, okay, so I'm just going to leave it at ABC, and I'm going to set this person as BIM manager. And when you go ahead and click on the Save button, at the bottom left hand corner, you will say here, the company is empty or does not exist. So since this is a compulsory field and you cannot specify a person as part of a non-existent company at this point in time, therefore it's always recommended to create the company first before creating the members. So I'm just going to change this to BIMLife here and click Save. As our account admin, you can see on top left, add companies, and then followed by add members. And the most important one is the adding of projects. So you're also responsible for adding projects belonging to the company. So we just go click on projects. You should see 2 projects that are created by default. And if you want to create a new project, which we're going to do now, click on the add button. And I'm going to name this training, maybe just say BIM 360 training. Okay, and I'm going to select one of these training project or demonstration project, training project, that we find, and just make sure you fill in anything that has the asterisk. The most important one is your project time zone, so change it to +8. And although not everything is asterisk here, but your most important one will be the project time zone, which we'll explain to you why later on. Once you're done, go to the bottom right hand corner, there will be save and continue in the blue button. And when you create a project for the first time, you are supposed to assign a project admin. So as an account admin, you are not involved in the project. You can be involved, but you're more in the role of setting up the directory of the company. And then for a project basis, you will want to add your project manager. Okay, most likely a BIM manager or project manager will be a suitable person to be the first project admin of the project. Okay, there's account admin, there is a project admin. So right now, since you created a project, you're supposed to assign the first person of a project admin. Click on activate button, and I'm going to put it as myself. And make sure to fill in the company's name as well. And once you're done, click on save. And it will take some time to load. Once it's finished, you should be able to click the finish button. You can see here, it's a bit slow. Okay, scroll all the way down, blue button, finish. There's two ways to enter the project environment. So we have this BIM 360 training project here. Okay, one way is to click on this itself. The second way is to click here. And you will notice that there is no BIM 360 project here. The reason why is you need to click on the refresh button. Most of the time, if you can't see the information, it has to do with the refresh button. So once I click on refresh, I do now have be able to see BIM 360 training. And once you enter BIM 360 training, you will see yourself as the only member of this project. Nobody's working with you, but you can actually add more people inside BIM 360 project. So the way to do so is to use the add button. So to prevent confusion here, just to clarify, I am currently the project admin. I am the account admin and the project admin, but right now I'm in the project admin side of things. And when you're the project admin and you click on the members tab, you are adding people inside this project. Okay, you're not creating a directory, but rather you are inviting people to access documents and share their files inside the cloud server pertaining to this project. So I'm going to add my colleague here. You can see I just want to type LI here, and it's able to locate that there's somebody there that is inside the directory that has the personnel there, right? The personnel. So I'm going to click on my colleague here, and once you're done with that, press on the select button, and you can see here how the information are already filled in. And I'm not going to change the BIM manager portion here. I'm just going to click on the top right hand corner, add to project. At this point in time, when you click on add to project, those people that you filled in, they'll receive an email where they can start to create their own account if they do not have an Autodesk account. If they do already have an Autodesk account, they can actually just immediately use the Autodesk account to log in into BIM 360. And you will also see companies, but this is not a company's directory. This is showing you as a summary how many people of a certain company are included in this project. So you can see BIMLife, there is 2 members, which is myself and the other colleague that I just added. So if there's other companies, they will provide you a summary. Maybe company A has 5 people, company B has 20 people. So that's what the information they're going to provide in the companies tab. Let's go back to members, and you can see my name, and this is my colleague. And you will see pending. Pending is because that person have not opened or checked their email. So that's why it's pending. The moment they create their own account, this will change to active. And towards the right here is what you should take note as a project admin. Okay, so there's only 3 different roles inside the project. There can be a project admin, which is the yellow one, admin. And there's going to be a blue one I'm going to show you. You can see the blue one is member, and then the gray one is actually no access. Well, before we get into the idea of changing the access level, I'm just going to go through. Right now, there's supposed to be 3 modules that you will see: project admin, insights, and document management. So we'll talk about insight first. Insight is actually a free module that as long as you purchase BIM 360, you can use this module that pertains to data analytics. So they will track, for example, the weather patterns. They can track how fast you respond to your RFIs or your issues inside the project, what are the common problems highlighted. All of them belongs to this module insights, where they kind of summarize, they give you an overview of the project itself. And the most important one is actually the document management. Okay, and the document management gives people access to documents in the cloud. They also give access to share and view information from other people. So without that, then that defeats the purpose of BIM 360. So by right, when you purchase BIM 360, you should minimally purchase BIM 360 Docs. Docs meaning Document Management Module. So between these few icons, if you want to change the level of access to all these three modules, all you gotta do is just click on it. You can see it does make changes here. When you click on it, it kind of goes between admin, member, or no access. At any point in time, you can choose to remove, for example, let's say my colleague Li Ping can actually view the documents in the cloud. At any point in time, I can remove her by clicking on this button here. So now she has no access to the documents on the cloud just through a single click of the button. And although she's in the project, okay, she's only limited to certain things that she can do about the project. And before we proceed, we need to understand why we have the privilege to change the access level of an individual inside the project. Okay, the reason why we can do that is because as long as you are a project admin of the project, you can restrict certain features or allow certain features, capabilities of the platform to individuals. If you want to remove, let's say I want to remove my colleague as the project admin, that is also possible. It is also possible to have multiple project admins inside a single project. So right now I'm going to show you what happens when I remove her project admin rights here. Just by clicking on it, you will see it does affect the not only does it affect the project admin module, but it also affects the access level inside the insights module. The reason why this behavior exists is because as a project admin, you are either having no access to a module or you have access or full access to a module. There is no in between here. Whereas if you are not a project admin, then the highest level of access you can go for the modules are always going to be member. So what happens if I now want to let my colleague have access to the document, I click on no access, you can see it turns to blue, it turns to member. Can I give her highest level of access inside the document management? That is not possible because she is not a project admin. The highest level she can go is to be a member if she is not a project admin. So that is the behavior of this module section over here. So what happens if you remove the document access? Okay, so I told you that document management is the most important or critical module here. It allows you to view and share your files. If you do not allow a person to view or share your files, what they will see when they log in is only this page here. So if you find that someone has invited you into the project and when you log in, you can only see this page. Okay, it's not because they never add you. It's because they didn't grant you access here. This is the most important. So if you do not grant a person access here, then the screen that they will see when they log in is this screen over here, a demo screen. Okay, so to ensure that does not happen, make sure to turn on for that person, minimally as a member. And each time, whether you're an admin or a member of the project, you actually consume one license. So you can turn off to minimize your license, but most of the time that will be a hassle to always turn on and turn off the licenses for individual members of the team, and that's not a good practice either way. I'm just going to make sure that my colleague has full access. Just by clicking on it again, you can see it turns back to the default condition. So that means that she can also remove my access. She can, if she wants to, she can also make sure that I don't have access to the document because she's the project admin. As a project admin, you can add multiple project admins or you can remove project admins as well.